Yes, welcome everybody. This is it's been such a journey for me over the last year to get to this point. And as Lisa knows, all our shows last year were just wiped out because of lockdown, and I had health issues as well, which didn't help. So while I was having to be quiet and not having anything to do, I did some soul searching, and I decided to become the life coach that I'd been wanting to do for about 20 years. So I started studying. I launched the business in August last year. And then I was, of course, when you're studying and you're working, I've had clients and everything as well, but you're building a business. So it didn't really solve the financial side of things. So Margie contacted me and told me about Lifevantage, and I researched. I loved her story. I researched, and I got excited because of the health issues I had and what my family had been through, especially my mum with pharmaceuticals, and the result of taking those. And I was on the search for something natural. And then when I found out about, this company and the Protandim NRF2, it was just a no-brainer. It was going to help my health, my wealth, not just myself, my clients, my family, my friends. So that got me to where we are now, and I'm loving it, making that income, still able to do my singing when we don't have lockdown, and coaching and helping and just and enjoying life again. It's just fabulous. So without any further ado, I'm going to pass it back over to Margie, so Margie can tell you all about it.
Well, welcome everybody. Thank you, Kel-Anne. I must say, Kel-Anne has been a breath of fresh air in my life, and I'm looking forward to the lockdown coming to an end, so at least we can connect in person, because we haven't actually had a hug yet.
No, really just virtual.
So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Margie here, and I live in Sydney on the northern beaches in Lambie Heights, a few minutes from Manly and South Curl. My current work in my clinic, I've been doing clinic work for over 30 years, but I'm a specialist in lymphatic drainage. So I look after patients who have, some of them undergone cancer treatment, some of them have been from surgery or accidents. I help them manage their lymphedema so it doesn't become a serious condition. So that's my clinic work. So would you mind just muting yourself, please?
Yeah, John, you're going to have to mute.
Yeah, right.
Well done for getting on the call.
Hard enough. Hang on, I'll try.
Just need to mute, and then we can talk to you after.
Linda, would you mind muting yourself too, please, love?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Thank you. Okay, great. So Kel-Anne said a moment ago that she loved my story, so I'll quickly share that with you. I was not looking for a product, and I definitely was not looking for a business, because I had a business. I had a clinic work. I was working in the clinic. It was really busy. I have 2 clinics, one in Chatswood, one at Bayview. But I was bitten by a tick on the northern beaches, Palm Beach, when I was house sitting for a most beautiful dog when they're friends of mine, they went away. And I became really ill, and nothing was diagnosed. I just got sicker and sicker until I ended up in Hornsby Hospital. Cold, cough, flu, bronchitis, pneumonia in Hornsby Hospital. So that wasn't really good at all. I couldn't seem to get better, and nobody knew what it was. They just kept putting me on antibiotics, which was terrible. And eventually I closed the clinics because I was unable to work, because it manifested in a condition like chronic fatigue. I had aches and pains. I had creepy crawlies under my skin. And the worst was the brain fog. It just made me feel like I didn't own my head because I couldn't remember people's names. I couldn't remember the name of the film I saw last week. I couldn't even remember the name of the book I was currently reading. I mean, how terrible was that? Anyway, a friend said to me, Margie, I think you must try this product. Well, I said no to her 3 times. It was a natural product, but I just had a block. I said, no, I'm not going to do it. So one day she phoned me about 4 weeks after I came out of North Shore Hospital, having been on an intravenous drip, and I was still taking oral antibiotics. And she said, Margie, you know what? You are very stubborn. She didn't use the word very. She used another word, which I shall not repeat. And she said, you're going to be poor for the rest of your life because you're not going to be able to go back to work because you're that sick and you're not prepared to look at something that is natural and alternative. Have a good life. And she put the phone down in my ear. I thought, that's a nice friend. But I thought, oh my word, when she said that, it was like a light bulb went on. I thought, you know what? I am stubborn. Because here's something that can help me. And I've been sick for 18 months. Why am I not prepared to even take a look? So today, that was 3 years ago. And I'm now fitter than I ever was. I'm racing dragon boats. I'm doing all the things I love doing. Both clinics are open. And I invite you today to take a look at what we're going to share. So I believe that the 9 pillars of health is what should be considered. It's like a bouquet of flowers. It's not about just taking Protandim, which we're going to talk about. It's about taking a little look at what are the things that you are looking at about your health. Are you looking at the quality sleep? Are you making sure you're doing daily breathing? Really important. Are you making conscious food choices? Daily exercise, just a minimum 30 minutes, even if it's just a walk. Are you having enough, especially in this lockdown? Community contact. That community could be your church, it could be your family, it could be your neighbors, as long as you're having contact and fellowship and communication with people that make you feel good. What about quality water? We know what's in our water. And the air we breathe. That's important. If you're in a high pollution zone, make sure at the weekends you really take time to be in clean air. And time out. I believe that we need a minimum of 5 minutes of relaxation a few times during every day. Sometimes you can take half an hour off and just sit on a bench and look at the waves, or lie on the grass and look up at the clouds, whatever it is for you. But our big thing that we want to share with you today is about body activation. There are 3 theories of aging. We are going to touch on 2 of those: oxidative stress and mitochondrial decline. Those are 2 of the most researched and the most vulnerable areas why we age with illness and disease, and we don't age with health and wellness. And that's what we would like to share with you. So these pathways are activated in the body. It just ran away from me for a sec. So it acts as a little switch that turns on the body's natural cellular signaling pathways. So in case you're wondering what that is, there's a signal that goes between the brain and the gut. There's another signal. All of these signalings that's going on between the brain and the heart and the gut continually. But when our cells are damaged, those pathways are not working properly. So we want to get those pathways working perfectly, back to what they were when we were in our 20s and 25s for the men, 20s for the women. So you feel better and can do more. So welcome to Lifevantage, and we are called the Biohacker Company. Now, my word, before I joined Lifevantage, I'd never heard of that word. I didn't even know what it was. So take a look at this slide. There are many, many ways that you can biohack your health. And what it really means is when somebody uses science and technology to make his or her body function better and more efficiently. So biohacking is something you can do. And all those 9 things I mentioned, by air you breathe, exercise, drinking good water, healthy food choices, they're all biohacking your body to perform better. And there's scientific proof that that is what happens. So when you are doing something to biohack your health, you are called a biohacker. And that's what we are. So before I go any further, I just want to point out that as a distributor, we do not claim to cure, heal, prevent, mitigate, or diagnose any disease. What we are sharing with you today is just for educational purposes. And a little later in the slide, there will be some statistics about earnings. Again, it's completely individual and it applies to the time you have and things like that. So who is Lifevantage? So Lifevantage is a 17-year-old young company. So it was founded in 2003. But now what I want to point out is that was when the product came to market and it was formed. But let's draw that line back. That line goes way back to 1968, when Dr. Joe McCord and scientists got together, and I'm going to do a little bit more later on to explain where that really started. But that was back in 1968. And we are known as the leader of the cutting edge science of Nutrigenomics. So here's another word that I hadn't heard of. So Nutrigenomics is in this disruptive technology area. Now, just bring your mind back to what is disruptive technology. We all know what happened to Uber. It disrupted the transport industry. It's a technology. What happened to the cryptocurrency and blockchain? It disrupted the financial world. It'll never be back like it was. Airbnb industry disrupted the hotel industry. Hotels are never going to have Airbnb close down or go away. They're here for good because of technology. Now, Nutrigenomics, this is where we come into it. We have and are the leading disruptor of the nutrigenomics industry. And we've disrupted the nutraceutical industry. Nutraceuticals are the one end of the scale and pharmaceuticals are the other. Now, you heard what Kel-Anne said about some of the things that happened with pharmaceutical drugs relating to her mum's health. So we are not at that end of the scale. Nutraceuticals is how the natural supplement industry can activate. Now, what has happened here? It's all about activation. That's what we are at. It's not about supplementation. Supplementation is putting back in your body what you think, because you don't know, it doesn't have. Human nutrition has had no innovation for 70 or 80 years. For instance, in, I think, 1968, vitamin K was discovered, but there's been nothing, absolutely nothing. Lifevantage has disrupted this nutraceutical industry by the introduction of Nutrigenomics. This disruptive technology upregulates genes and downregulates genes, allowing the body to come back in balance, correcting DNA structures. The DNA, of course, is where the information is stored in our cell. So it's nutrients that activate pathways in the cell, which increases that word again, coordinated cell signaling. And this is what makes us feel good. So this biohacking with nutrigenomics. Nutri is the nutrients, and it's a study of how nutrients and naturally occurring compounds affect our genes. Nutrigenomics. That's how that comes about. So if you've never heard of that word, don't worry, I hadn't either. So we are a company founded on science, and it's proven by science, and we are a wellness and personal care company that knows the products are only as good as the science they stand on. Just a little about the history of Lifevantage. Here, as I told you, 2003. So we haven't given you back to 1968, but here are some key areas. 2005, prime time. That was a video you can ask Kel-Anne to send you. It just shows where Protandim really started. But I'll just slip down to 2020, where Lifevantage was asked to ring the NASDAQ bells at the New York Stock Exchange. And why they asked Lifevantage to do that, a great accolade and a great honor, because we are the leading company in disruptive technology of nutraceuticals. There is no other company anywhere on the planet like us. And that's why we rang the closing bells of Health Week. So they didn't take any other product but us. So that is just fantastic. Now, the question I'd like to ask you, we've touched on it just a little bit. How healthy are you? So here I invite you to take a look at your lifestyle. Are there lifestyle changes that you can tweak? Are you getting enough balance with your community? And what about your environment and the air you breathe? And here we come to the genetic structures, which we do have control of, that we can change. So just to take a little look at the aging process, I've just taken a few here, and you'll notice that the brain starts to slow. But look at the eyes. After the age of 40, it's blurry. Ears declines from the age of 20. Look at the heart, 20 to 30% declines from the age of 20 and continues to the age of 70. So that's why there's so many heart disease when you're reaching those latter years, but it no need to be so. And I'm just going to tell you a quick little story here. Before I joined Lifevantage, I was on drug medication for my heart. I have a genetic heart condition from my father called arterial heart fibrillation. When I heard of these products and I was starting to take them, I went to my cardiologist and I said, this is what I'm taking. He looked it up, he did the research, and he said, Margie, you've got to keep taking that. About 3 months, 6 months later, I went back to him. I said, do I still need to take the drugs? He said, well, yes, you do. Well, I said, I stopped taking them. He said, you what? I said, I've stopped taking them. Would you like to check me? I had all those little things on me, did all the tests. I did that running test on the machine. He said, okay, but you've got to promise me you'll have them in your handbag just in case you have an incident. Well, that was 3 years ago. I haven't had an incident since. I don't take any beta blockers. Now, for me, that was fantastic. I'm so thrilled. So here we go back onto the lungs and the bones and the muscle, and you can see they all age at various rates. Now, this is something we need to look at because free radicals attack our cells, and those things we spoke about, stress, radiation, toxins, all those things that we spoke about earlier, like clean air and so on, that is what causes free radicals to damage our cells internally, and they call that oxidative stress. So oxidative stress, if you put 200 plus diseases and illnesses and conditions in a swimming pool, they have one thing in common: high levels of oxidative stress, damaged tissues internally, so the body cannot function properly. How should we lower our oxidative stress? Because it damages the cells, the proteins, the DNA that contribute towards aging. It's the biggest contribution to the aging process. And how can we lower it? Increasing antioxidants and decreasing the number of free radicals. So here is where Lifevantage has the answer. Protandem NRF2, NRF2 refers to a pathway in the cell, is a synergizer of 5 naturally occurring herbs that combats free radicals. It reduces free radicals that are formed in the body. It helps decrease the damage to the tissues, and it's all proven on peer-reviewed studies. And these amazing herbs are ashwagandha, turmeric, bacopa, milk thistle, and green tea. But look at the next slide. This is where it all comes to the party. People say, oh, but I already take green tea every day. I drink a cup every day. And oh, I sprinkle turmeric on my blah, 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 and so on. Yes, all of those herbs are amazing. But when the synergy comes together in the specific formula that Dr. Joe McCord and his scientific team did back in 1968 onwards, this is what is called the synergy. The synergy increases the effect in the body by 18 times. It's 18 times more effective. And this is what it's all about. Now, when you look at that slide and you think, oh, it's only those 5. But do you know that Dr. Joe McCord and his scientists tested more than 45 different herbs to see which ones activated that NRF2 pathway the most. So that's how it came about. Now, this slide is what I wanted to get to when I said to you earlier about Dr. Joe McCord. Superoxide dismutase is, they refer to it as SOD, much easier to pronounce anyway. This is what he discovered, and he was awarded many accolades for having discovered that antioxidant, and catalase is another one. And those two, when you take protandem NRF2, it activates your body, so your body produces that in your body. And these two are far superior by far than any vitamin C or 27 glasses of red wine, a bag full of oranges to activate and reduce oxidative stress. But the other thing, really important, it upregulates glutathione. Now, glutathione is something you cannot take as a supplement. You can't take as an injection. It's something that your body has to make. And when we take protandem, it activates the body by 300%. You cannot get that amount of glutathione in your body any other way. So that is why when people are taking the product, they feel better relatively quickly and they can do more. So this is just a quick snapshot of some of the studies. I won't even go into all of them, but you can see Harvard University, the National Institute of Aging, and so on. I've singled out one. This was in 2005. Washington State University did their own independent studies, and this was in the summary at the end of their study, which came up with the same result that Dr. Joe McCord did, that it activated or reduced oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days. NRF2, which may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic and most extraordinary preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. Now, isn't that preventative? Preventing that illness or disease coming to the body, because the environment that the body's in when we have got rid of all the oxidative stress does not allow those diseases to get set in the body. How awesome is that? It is our opinion that raising NRF2 is likely to be the most important health promoting approach into the foreseeable future. So that's a highly reputable institution, Washington State University. So these are the three pillars of health: NRF2, which we've just spoken about, NRF1, which I'm going to do now, and ProBio, which is coming. So NRF2, also a synergizer. It says here, or 5 or natural herbs. They're actually natural compounds which are in NRF1. And it activates the NRF1 pathway. And most important, it keeps the mitochondria functioning at peak performance. Now, the mitochondria is in every single little cell, and that helps the body to enhance energy levels. So if people say, oh, I'm so tired of being tired, oh, I wake up and I'm still tired, their mitochondria are probably damaged, or they don't have enough mitochondria because they haven't been able to replicate. NRF2 does all of that. These are the 5 compounds, and again, it's in a synergy. So ProBio, why this is included is because it's absolutely vital that our gut bacteria is in good shape. So it's a vegan capsule. It takes 25 minutes to get down through the stomach acid and go into the intestines where it is needed to repair and build the lining wall and gobble up all the naughty ones. So there's over 6 billion and all clinically tested, extremely high quality strains. So included is beta-glucan, which is very important for our immune health, especially at this time with what's going on around us. An absolutely vital product for everybody at any age. So healthy heart, healthy brain. We're coming to our product, which really, those are some of the things that affects the DHA and the EPA. It's the amigos. The amigos are vital. And we're really happy about the amigos because we can track the quality from the fish to the boat to the bottle all the way. So when you get an amigo in your bottle, you know it's been tested every step of the way and there are no contaminants whatsoever. When we come to our skincare regime, the skincare is the only skincare in the world that is activated by the NRF2 activation formula. So it's an anti-aging formula. So we are anti-aging from outside on our skin and inside our cellular health. And we are extremely proud of our hair care. For 2 years in a row, it's been winning the Stevia Awards for the Best Business Awards. I think we got 7 last year, and I'm not sure what the 2021s, but we continue to, that's the most prestigious award for natural products and skincare. So this is a slide we put in here especially because manufacturing is really important, and you can get a laboratory and you can get a laboratory. Our quality is at the highest industry standards, and it's really important that our raw materials are consistent so that our end product is effective and it's 100% tested. What does that mean, 100% tested? It's tested when the raw materials come in. It's tested before it gets into the production line. It's tested when it's made and goes into the package, and it's tested again before it leaves from the warehouse. So the testing is all along the way, which is very important. We have a lot of medical people, doctors, chiropractors, cardiologists, all who are distributing this product. We cannot have anything that is not the very best quality. So we have a passion for progress from a small, tiny biotech company. We believe there is no limit to human potential when there exists a passion for progression. And this is our scientific team. They are moving forward. There's new things in the pipeline, and we are excited for the future as the technology increases. On the playing field, we are extremely proud because our company has the symbol of the Banned Substance Association, which means Olympic athletes, and we had many who are on the product, because you know why? It enhances their performance. They can train harder, they have less injuries, and their recovery time is reduced. So any person who's playing sport like me, I don't compete at an Olympic level, but I'm a granny that paddle boats, and I want to paddle just as good as the 30-year-olds, and I do. So there you go. So network marketing, this is our platform that we work through. And why we've chosen this model is that it allows distributors to educate the customers and educate and train other distributors to do exactly the same. So we all come with one voice, and we are paid to share the message. And it's nothing new. There's over 150 million people involved globally. And here in Australia, the network marketing industry, sales are 1.4 billion. So there's nothing new about it. It's been around a long time. In fact, I believe network marketing has come of age. Where better, time-wise, where we have a business we can work from home that's online, where we're helping people improve their health and giving them a second income stream in times when we really, really need it. I absolutely love this slide because it affects Kel-Anne and myself. And who's the other singer? Where is she? Lisa, right? It affects
Danella. Danella's on there too.
Oh, right. Because we are used to this linear form of income. When I'm in my clinic, I work for 1 hour, I get paid for 1 hour. I've got to find another client to get paid for another hour, and so on. And then the work that I've done, I get paid for once, and it's done, right? There's nothing leveraged about it at all. Here, with a network marketing model, we build teams of independent-based businesses and builders, and we all work together, and we all benefit from everybody in our team. So it is a fabulous way to work. And where do you find that when you are earning an income for a company at a job, I call a job just over broke, do you get an increase every month? I have been in the company for 3 years, and I'm going to show you a little slide just now. We are in 26 countries, and we're opening in the Philippines in October. That is very exciting. The Philippines is destined to be the biggest market in Lifevantage. America's number 1, Canada's number 2, and Australia is number 3. So we're going to maybe have to settle for 4th position, because it's not going to take the Philippines with their massive population and their desire to really succeed. That they know, Lifevantage knows it's going to be the biggest country in the world in a very short space of time. So that's very exciting for us. So it's not about just earning more money. It's also about having more time with your family. So this is the slide I wanted to come to. With that leveraged income, here the average first pay is $7. Well, I can tell you my first little pay in my first month was $27. I was so excited. I earned $27. And so it goes. Every month, every single month, our salaries go up and up and up. And I call it salaries because it's commission, but it's the same thing. So I'm a Pro 5, and all what this does, it shows you that the Pro 5, Pro 1, Pro whatever is just the volume in your business. So the volume in my business is over 20,000. In fact, I'm almost Pro 6, so it's almost 50,000. So I'm halfway between these two at the moment. And I'm earning in excess of that. But every single month I've been in the business, my salary has gone up by little bits every single month. It hasn't stepped back. It just keeps going up little bit by little bit by little bit. Where do you get a job where your salary goes up all the time? Well, I've never had that. Sometimes I've had companies where I've been in the company for 3 years and you don't get an increase because the company is not making any money. So there you go. So why are we so unique? Or why do we have the high retention? Because the product's unique. You can't buy it anywhere else. Mass market appeals to absolutely everybody. It's for everybody over the age of 20. It's affordable. It's backed by science. So it's proven and it does what it says it's going to do. And the most important thing, it's not like buying a washing machine or a lawnmower. Once you've got it, you got it. Here it's consumable. You have to have it every month. You buy it every month because you're feeling good and you want to continue feeling great. So what is the difference between us and anybody else? Well, we have all the support systems to help you grow your business. We've got a product that is beyond reproach and works and unique. You've heard it all. And the timing is now. We want a home-based business. We want an online business. Online is growing exponentially. And we have this. It's just like an online shop. It's like, you know, if you're going to go on an online and just go and buy, it's the same thing. Compensation, we've just touched on that. Fabulous plan. We get paid weekly, we get paid monthly, we get paid, and every backing on to one to the next, we have incentives to help us grow the business. And the company, well, I haven't even touched on all of that. We are a NASDAQ listed company. So we have a board that controls it. So they can't just change the rules or change the compensation plan or change the quality of the product. It's got to get past the board if anything changes. And it is audited by independent auditors. So there is no issues there with the company. So I want to say to you, where do you see yourself? Do you want to become a biohacker? And join us as a customer. We'd love to have you and help you on your healing journey. Do you want to become a distributor and join Kel-Anne? Well, we'd love to have you in the team. And to order your pack, all you need to do is contact Kel-Anne, and we will get you on the road to health and wellness as quick as that. So from me, oh dear, I would like to just say thank you so much for joining us.